Imagine this path, seemingly endless, winding off into just this canopy of green. It kind of whispers adventure, maybe solitude, maybe understanding yourself a bit better.
That's the pull, isn't it? That real allure.
Exactly. And it's captured so well in Bill Bryson's book, A Walk in the Woods.
A classic account.
So today, we're doing a deep dive into that book, into Bryson's hike or attempted hike on the Appalachian Trail. And it's not just a travelogue, is it?
Oh, not at all. It's funny. It's insightful. Yeah, often pretty frustrating, too. It really explores nature himself and how we sort of interact with the wild.
Right. So Georgia to Maine, the AT, it's this huge natural space. Our mission here is to kind of pull out the surprising bits, the realities he found.
The history, the discomforts.
Yeah, the discomforts, definitely. And those insights, the funny ones and the deep ones. We want to give you a shortcut, really, to understanding what it means to dive into something like this.
Okay, so where do we start? The trail itself.
Let's do it. The Appalachian Trail. The sheer ambition is just, wow, the granddaddy of long hikes.
Over 2,100 miles.
Yeah, 14 states, Georgia, all the way to Maine. In Bryson, he'd been abroad for, nearly 20 years?
That's right.
So he had these reasons for doing it. Getting fit. He called himself Waddlesome, which I love.
Waddlesome sloth, yeah.
Reconnecting with America, learning to fend for myself in the wilderness. And he wanted that kind of swagger.
Ah, yes, the famous quote.
The quote. He
Yeah.
wanted to be able to look at the horizon, through eyes of chipped granite and say, with a sniff, yeah, I've shit in the woods.
It's quite a goal.
Mm-hmm.
But the trail's origin is fascinating, too. Benton McKay, back in 1921.
Right, the visionary.
Yeah, and it was formally finished, kind of quietly, actually, August 14th, 1937. His initial idea was pretty different, though.
How so?
Well, he imagined things like work camps, even chalets along the path. That never really happened.
No fancy chalets on the AT, then.
Definitely not.
Yeah.
And the ride itself, it didn't always follow old paths or, pick the absolute best views. It often just went where they could get access.
Over lonely ridges, forgotten places.
Exactly. And we're talking serious terrain. Over 350 peaks, above 5,000 feet. The whole thing usually takes about 5 months.
5 million steps, apparently.
Something like that. It's immense.
And Bryson found out pretty quickly, this isn't like a gentle stroll in the English countryside.
Not quite.
You're hauling, 40 pounds more? Sleeping outside, making your own food?
It's a huge reality check. Which kind of brings up that disconnect, between what people imagine and what the trail actually demands.
Oh, yeah. He talks about people quitting almost right away.
That story about the guy at Witty Gap,
Yeah.
21 miles in, he quit there twice.
Twice, and the women from California.
Oh, yeah. Made it 1.5 miles after spending a fortune on gear.
Wow. It really makes you wonder, like you said, what do people expect?
That's a good question.
And the gear itself? Bryson's shopping trip sounds hilarious and painful.
The cost was a shock, right?
A huge shock. And that feeling that every piece of equipment appeared to require some further piece of equipment.
Yes. The $250 backpack.
Without straps. Or waterproofing. You have to buy that separately.
It's madness. He said he had enough gear for a veil of Sherpas.
It's true, though. But it touches on that backpacking reality. You do need specialized stuff, but there's also this huge consumer culture around it.
Absolutely. Although, he did say his tent, despite being maybe a bit small and smelly, was cozy and sturdy.
Yeah.
So you find what works eventually. It's that balance.
Right. Now, we absolutely have to talk about his hiking partner.
Stephen Katz.
Stephen Katz. The unlikely hero, maybe? Bryson's initial description is just gold.
The 5 Boston cream donuts.
Eating 5 donuts, struggling with the stairs, can't pack his bag, smokes.
Not exactly peak physical condition.
Not at all. And his pronouncements, hey, they haven't got me yet, about bears. Or worrying about Beulah's husband. I could be dead in a minute.
He wasn't exactly thrilled about the hiking itself, was he?
No. He called it a tiring, dirty, pointless slog.
But, if you think about it, Katz kind of represents, us, maybe. That struggle with being uncomfortable, wanting things to be easier.
That's a good point.
But the interesting thing is, he stuck with it, despite the complaining. And Bryson mentions how they looked out for each other.
Yeah, he always pleased him, and we seemed to be looking out for each other. It was very nice.
That companionship, even with someone complaining the whole time, becomes really important. Maybe more than hitting every single mile marker.
True. Unlike, perhaps, Mary Ellen.
Mary Ellen.
The Mary Ellen experience. Where do you even start nonstop talking?
The snorting to clear her ears.
Yes. those violent and alarming snorts. And just, as Bryson put it, majestically inexperienced and untrail-worthy.
Couldn't read a map?
Couldn't read a map. Made comments like, there's a stream of water over there.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Or frosted a couple of times.
It sounds trying.
Trying is putting it mildly. They had that pact, right? To kill Mary Ellen and take her Pop-Tarts. Obviously joking,
Right.
mostly.
It really highlights how other people, the group dynamic, can totally change an experience you think is going to be solitary.
Definitely. And she didn't last, did she? Blisters.
Yeah, she tried to do way too much too fast. 35 miles in 2 days shows that mismatch in expectation and ability again.
So true. Okay, beyond the human drama, what about the woods themselves? The actual wilderness?
Bryson talks about that feeling, that spookiness.
Yeah, like you're being watched, adrenaline. He even brings in Thoreau.
Right, Thoreau finding Katahdin grim and wild. Nearly hysterical, apparently.
And Daniel Boone. If Daniel Boone is calling parts of the Appalachians so wild and horrid, impossible to behold them without terror.
Then you should probably pay attention.
Exactly. Which leads us to bears.
Bryson's bear obsession.
It's a huge theme, fueled by that book, Bear Attacks.
David Herrow's book, yeah. It clearly made an impression.
He's terrified of the 400-pound bear, the idea of a light bite, which is just absurd.
And bears prowling in parties.
Prowling in parties. It sounds ridiculous, but the fear feels real, even though statistically.
Right, he points out the stats. No unprovoked fatal attacks in New Hampshire since 1784. Never in Vermont.
But statistics don't help much when you hear something outside your tent at night.
No, they don't. And he did have that encounter. Heard noises, thought it was maybe 2 bears.
And all he had was that little knife.
The one perfectly respectable for buttering pancakes.
It's such a great image. Real fear, even if the odds are low. It just takes over.
It absolutely does.
Okay, shifting gears a bit. From the immediate fear to the deep time of the place, the geology.
Yeah, the Appalachians. They're not sharp and pointy like the Himalayas, but they are old.
So old. Older than the oceans, older than the continents as we know them, way older than most other mountains.
Formed by continents smashing together, starting like 470 million years ago. He uses that rugged carpet analogy.
That's a good one. And they're still changing, right? Erosion.
Constantly shrinking, very, very slowly, about 0.03 millimeters a year. Right. But you see the signs of huge forces.
Like the Delaware Water Gap.
Exactly. That quartzite rock tilted at a crazy 45-degree angle. Something massive must have happened there.
And the Ice Age stuff, too. Sunfish Pond being the first glacial feature he sees coming south.
And that realization that geologically we're still in an ice age, it just puts things in perspective.
It really does. So from rocks to living things, the Smokies.
Ah, the Smokies. A natural Eden, he calls them.
And for good reason, right? That mixed mesophytic forest. Supposed to be the best in the world.
Incredible plant diversity. Like 130 native tree species. Compare that to maybe 85 in all of Europe.
Wow. And that's partly because the mountains run north-south?
Yeah, that allowed species to migrate south during the ice ages instead of getting wiped out.
Yeah.
Kind of ecological refuge.
Amazing. But there are always buts, aren't there? Problems in paradise.
Unfortunately, yes. It raises that whole question about ecological balance and, well, human interference.
So what kind of problems did Bryson see?
The bears and the Smokies, for one. Losing their fear of people because of food. Picnics.
Right. Leading to dangerous situations. He mentions that horrific story.
The honey on the toddler's fingers.
Yeah.
For a video.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. And the bear ate the kid's hand.
Just awful. And then the park policy of moving those habituated bears deeper into the backcountry.
Where the hikers are. Doesn't seem ideal.
No kidding. And other park issues, too. Extinctions.
Yeah. You know, it's some alarming stuff. Bryce Canyon losing 7 mammal species in less than 50 years under MPS management.
That's concerning.
And that fish, the Smoky Madam, discovered in Abrams Creek.
And then immediately wiped out.
By rotenone, yeah. A pesticide they used to clear fish, just gone. And the glassy bulbs dying out because of policy.
These unique features just vanishing.
And then there's the money thing. Spending $500,000 on a party while closing campgrounds.
It paints a complicated picture. What about Shenandoah?
Similar issues there, really. Overcrowding, pollution, invasive species hitting the trees hard, gypsy moths, woolly adelgid killing hemlocks, and thracnose on the dogwoods.
So, quite a bit of trouble.
Definitely. But despite all that, Bryson still found Shenandoah, possibly the most wonderful national park.
Interesting. He saw beauty despite the problems.
And he mentioned the deer population bouncing back after being reintroduced, which was a positive note.
Okay, so stepping off the trail. That contrast between the woods and, well, modern America.
Yeah, that's a big theme too. Driving through towns versus walking the AT.
He calls the roadside stuff a ceaseless unfolding pageant of commercial hideousness. Strong words.
Very strong. He uses Waynesboro as an example. Trying to walk there sounds terrifying. No sidewalks, dangerous roads.
Compared to a place like Hanover, New Hampshire, which he saw as more of a traditional walkable town.
It really throws America's relationship with nature into sharp relief, doesn't it?
Oh.
We want the wilderness preserved.
But we build these sprawling car-dependent towns right next door.
Exactly. And that statistic is wild. Half of all the offices and malls in the U.S. built since 1980.
Half. That's incredible growth. He points to Gatlinburg and Pigeon Forge as extreme examples.
Oh, yeah. Pigeon Forge, 200 outlet shops in 3 miles. It's consumption over community space, really.
And speaking of human impact, the industrial scars.
Pennsylvania.
Right, the anthracite region, that strange, half-forgotten world.
And Centralia, the town on fire.
Since 1962, a coal seam fire that just keeps burning. Enough coal for 1,000 years, he says.
It's hard to even imagine. A ghost town with driveways leading nowhere.
So eerie. It just shows how one industry can totally reshape everything, the land, people's lives. The scars last for generations.
He mentioned Palmerton too, right? The zinc mill.
Yeah, where the pollution killed everything on the mountainside, just stripped bare.
And he gets hassled by a security guard just for looking at it.
That perfectly captures the tension, industry versus nature, private control versus public access.
Okay, let's turn back to the trail life itself. The internal journey, the transformation.
Right, that physical and mental shift. He calls it a gentle descent into squalor.
Huh. Which is strangely appealing, in a way. After a few days, you just forget what it's like not to be filthy and tired. Your whole world changes. Hunger changes. Simple things become amazing.
Finding a used paperback.
A Graham Greene, yeah.
Yeah.
Or that first hot shower at Odyssey.
Yeah.
Pure magic.
And Coca-Cola tasting like it's the first time you've ever had it.
It really strips away the layers, makes you appreciate the basics. Which makes you think, what do we actually need versus what we think we need?
Good question. He contrasts McKay's idea of proper hostels
with the reality of these stark shelters.
Yeah.
But even then, finding something unexpected, like cheeseburgers in Shenandoah,
becomes this huge, momentous event.
Exactly. Your whole sense of luxury just warps completely.
He also had some strong feelings about technology on the trail.
Oh, yeah, he wasn't a fan. That Wall Street Journal article he mentions.
Hikers calling for helicopter rescues because they were tired. Or a day late.
Entitled is the word, I think. And the irony of people with GPS getting lost because they didn't have a map or compass.
It really shows that tension again, doesn't it? Wanting wilderness, but also wanting instant fixes and tech support.
It kind of defeats the purpose, in a way. Relying on tech can disconnect you from actually learning the skills, reading the environment.
Yeah, it becomes a crutch. Okay, so towards the end, Maine, the 100-mile wilderness.
The deep end, as you called it. Sounds intense. Darker, more shadowy, woods for looming bears.
Definitely sets a mood. And the moose.
Ah, the moose encounter. That's a great bit.
He's totally smitten at first, right? Awestruck. Feels this mutual salute.
But then he realizes the moose is just kind of dumb.
Monumentally muddle-headed and dopily unassuming. It's such a Bryson observation.
Then he finds out they reintroduced moose hunting, despite them being a bit clueless.
Nature's ironies. And the lagoon crossing. Moxie Bald Mountain.
Oh, poor Katz. Nearly drowning, pack dragging him down.
Just flailing. And then these other hikers show up.
The distinctly counterculture and very fit ones.
Yeah, and they just hoist their packs, wade across in 30 seconds flat.
Leaving Bryson and Katz feeling completely inept. You can just picture it.
So they don't actually finish the entire trail. How does Bryson feel about stopping?
It's complex, isn't it? He talks about being weary, but still strangely in its thrall.
Yeah, finding it tedious but irresistible, tired of the woods but admiring their boundlessness.
He says he wanted to quit and to do this forever, sleep in a bed and in a tent, all at once. That captures it perfectly.
That ambivalence. But Katz has the last word, doesn't he?
He really does. Bryson points out they missed sections, and Katz just brushes it off.
Details Katz sniffed.
Yeah. As far as I'm concerned, I hiked the Appalachian Trail. I hiked it in snow, and I hiked it in heat. I hiked it till my feet bled. I hiked the Appalachian Trail, Bryson.
It's brilliant. It's about his achievement, his experience, not some official definition.
Exactly. It's that personal definition of accomplishment that really matters.
And it all ends appropriately, maybe, with cream sodas and Milo Maine.
A simple victory.
So looking back, what did Bryson take away, even from the unfinished journey?
Well, practical stuff, sure. Pitching a tent, getting fit, but much more than that.
That profound respect for wilderness, right? The benign, dark power of woods.
Understanding the sheer scale of the world in a new way. Finding patience, fortitude.
Discovering an America most people don't see. And making a friend.
That unexpected friendship with Katz is
Yeah.
key. It shows mastery isn't just about miles covered. It's about how your perspective shifts.
How simple things become luxuries, how the world feels bigger, humbling you.
Precisely.
And he ends up seeing mountains differently, doesn't he?
Yeah, slowly and appraisingly with a narrow, confident gaze and eyes of chipped granite.
It's not about ticking off every mile, it's about that internal transformation.
Absolutely.
So it leaves you thinking, what does it really mean to conquer something huge? A 2,000-mile trail, or maybe just a big personal challenge?
Is it about getting to the end? Hitting every mark?
Or is the real win that shift in perspective, the respect you gain, the surprising connections you make along the way?
It's a great question to ponder. What immense challenge are you looking at, maybe, with new eyes, those eyes of chipped granite?